Nice to see everyone today. I want to thank Christian and Olivia for the warm welcome to Huitama, which is the way the Squamish people call this place, and Squequa, which is the way the Squamish people call it. Thank you for coming. It's really exciting to see a group of people come into this town every time, and I just want to express my excitement for what you're going to experience together, what you're going to learn together, and the opportunity you're going to have to visit our town. This summer, I was reminded of something that really motivates why I do what I do. And as I read about your work, it struck me that it similarly motivates you. I love backpacking, and so my summer project now is to take a couple weeks every summer on the Pacific Crest Trail. And this summer, we walked from White Pass, which is in southern Washington, to Stevens Pass, about 250 kilometers. It's an incredible place. I mean, world class. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's the best place to go and I think breathe and be with people you love. It goes past Mount Rainier, Mount Adams, Mount St. Helens. It's rugged. It's impressive. And along the way, you pass 4 ski resorts. You start at White Pass, as I said. Then you go past Crystal Pass, Snoqualmie Pass, and Stevens Pass. And they all have great terrain. My son and I were up above each of them, sort of looking at bowls that we would like to ski. And at each moment, we took a chance to see where we would spend our time in those mountains. And they're all less than an hour from Seattle, Washington, very close to millions and millions of people. They're big, they're empty, and they have zero resort infrastructure. 1 hour from Seattle. I was struck then that the decision to create Whistler was a disruptive decision. It was an innovative decision. It was a decision that was full of all sorts of aspiration. And that it doesn't just happen. It didn't happen in those places. And I've been struck since that it is somewhat strange that the closest resort to Seattle is Whistler Blackcomb. And so people have to get in their cars and drive here rather than spending time in those mountains. So our region has a long history of being innovative, doing crazy things. In 1960, a group of people went to the Lake Placid Olympics. And they came back and they met in 1961 at the Vancouver Club in Vancouver. And they started to plan to host the 1968 Olympics. And at that point, Whistler had about 200 people. It took 8 hours to get here, and it was just an impossible task. A friend of mine just died, and he was one of those people in that meeting. And I asked him, I said, Gary, was that original idea to host a games with the city of Vancouver? He said, no, we were going to have it all here, like hockey, alpine skiing, everything in a town of 200 people. He said it was preposterous. And preposterous it was, but it set us on this course to become a ski town that would one day host the world. And each decade we invested a little bit more in that dream. In the 70s, Whistler became a town. We became the resort municipality of Whistler, the first resort municipality in Canada. In the 80s, we started our work towards building out a village at the base of 2 mighty ski hills on a garbage dump. In the 90s, we started to push towards being that world-class place, and we achieved it. We were ranked the #1 ski resort in North America 10 years running. And then in the early 2000s, we started to build to realize Gary and his friends' dream of hosting the 2010 Games, which we did, and it was an exceptional experience for all of us here. It was continual long walk in the same direction, with focus, with excitement, and I want to say with disruption. Decentralized Energy Canada's vision is to disrupt the Canadian energy status quo and create opportunities for decentralized energy by convening, educating, and engaging stakeholders. People who look back at the foundations of this place, I think, look with a little bit of confusion. What were you thinking? It was nuts. It was a garbage dump in the middle of nowhere, crazy idea, and you've realized a dream. And I think what you're doing here is similar. We need to decentralize energy in the world and in Canada. We need new ways of energizing ourselves, and you're doing that work. I believe you will look back, people will look back like we look at Gary and think, those people were crazy, like really, really crazy. But look what they've accomplished for all of us. So thank you. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for doing this important work. I think our children will tell stories about the work that you did to get us where we need to go, and I'm personally grateful for it. When you're here, I hope you enjoy the people that you're with. I think conferences are a great way to reconnect, make new relationships. I also want to encourage you to get out and maybe walk a trail alone. You're very close to many people, but you're also very close to none. And take a breath, slow down, get a chance to breathe a little bit. There's lots of places for that here. The Dane Art Museum houses British Columbia's art collection, I like to say. It is impressive and exciting. You should go check it out. The Squamish-Lowak Cultural Center is right across the street. It's a terrific place to visit as well. I hope you chat to some of the people who are serving you here. We love welcoming people, and we're happy that you're visiting with us today. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, chatting during a fireside chat tomorrow. So thank you for visiting us, and thank you for the work that you are doing for all of us. Enjoy your conference.